So before we head anywhere else, I want to go talk to the Greybeards and find out what this shout is that we can knock Alduin down with, or whatever shout they used to defeat Alduin before, or whatever happened. Anyway, according to the wall there in Skyhaven Temple, it was a particular thing that they used to knock Alduin down out of the heavens or whatever, bring him down to Earth, whittle him down to size a little bit, and we need that. Okay, if all it takes is just yelling at him a little bit, I can do that.
Sky above, voice within. Sky, guard you. Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to? The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes? Do not be so sure about that. Beware. The Blades may claim to serve the Dragonborn, but they do not. They never have. As for me, I kept from you only what you were not yet ready to know. Are still not ready to know, as your question reveals. No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom.
Yeah, so there. Whatever he said.
Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make. No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself. Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses. You weren't ready, you still aren't ready. But, thanks to the Blades, you now have questions that only Paarthurnax can answer. He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege. Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
All right. Two things I see here. One is that the Greybeards would never act, and the Blades would act too quickly or rashly. That seems to be kind of that. Well, it just kind of sums it up for me. But one thing I would factor in, and this kind of makes it easy to weigh between the two, is that by not acting, you eventually basically give in to your fate. In other words, what's going to be will be, and so I'll just lay here till it happens type thing, and we'll just talk about peace, 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 while there is none. Okay, and well, I see actually an epidemic of that today in the real world. But there's something that you factor in, and it can't be denied, is that people have a survival instinct. And instinct isn't a choice. All right, you can try to make choices to override instinct. When your instincts tell you one thing, you can try to fight against them, but the bottom line is you're still fighting, even if it's against yourself. Doesn't matter. You're still putting up a fight. The instinct to survive, the fight to survive, that's not something I just decide whether I'm going to do that today or not. You know, if you start running out of breath, you panic. I can't breathe. You know, it's that instinct kicks in. How can I live? How can I fix this? How can I get past this type of thing? That's, like I say, that's an instinctual thing with people, not a choice. So this is really kind of a no-brainer. Is the Greybeards are actually wrong in this. They may have knowledge in the way of the voice, but their own personal opinions, emotions, and politics seem to be a little skewed, perhaps by being in seclusion up here for too long a period of time, stuck in their books without having their nose in reality. Maybe come down off their mountain, like some people would say, and get a taste of the real world. Might change their views on what part they want to play if they were actually personally threatened. Although maybe they've meditated themselves into a state where they'll be willing to go, you know, should the dragon fire call them, type of thing. Maybe so, but for the rest of us, I think we're going to go ahead and try to live another day, you know, and Alduin's going to have to go to make that happen. And so it's pretty common sense. Not just that Alduin is quote-unquote the antagonist or the bad guy here, but just simply that the desire to survive is something that's just going to take place regardless. And if we have means to kill the enemy, we need to do so.
The path to Paarthurnax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way. Look.
All right, free words. I'll take that.
My understanding of clear skies. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well. Clear skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Paarthurnax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
All right, there we go. Actually, I think we got to come back down and talk to him again later, but all right, so without this shout, I don't know if there's actually some way to glitch, exploit, work your way around this to where you could get up maybe to talk to Paarthurnax without all this. I don't know. Never actually tried. I like playing with the story here. So, do you know that the Greybeards reluctantly gave this to us? Well, he did. As far as the rest of them, I don't know. But he seems to be the mouthpiece for the Greybeards, so whatever their collective thought is, he's the one that speaks for them. So, anyway, he didn't really want us to have this. To say he would like to see nothing done. Why upset the balance of things and blah, 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 and all those other psychobabble excuses to do nothing. Sorry, freedom, liberty comes at a price, and those not willing to pay that price but wanting that liberty usually give it all away, actually. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we just thought we were at the top of the mountain. There's a ways to go yet. Okay, we're like way up there now.
Huh?
That's a view. That's what I'm talking about. That's like all of Skyrim right there. Although nothing beats that view from Meridia's spot where she pulls you up into the air after you return her beacon. That's pretty cool. I love that because you can look down, you can see like Solitude, and you can see the coastline and all that. You can see the whole map. It's just amazing. It's cool to sit up there. You don't have very long. It'd be cool if you could, you know, like extend that little floaty thing you do up there, flying around in the sky, and try to recognize all the landmarks and stuff. What's this? I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that either. Get off me. Hey, Uthgerd. There's a troll right here. You want to take care of that, please? Oh, that's right. Uthgerd can't take any. Oh my gosh, she used to be able to tank like 5 trolls for an hour. Now she gets like one swatted. That is horrible. Poor thing. Oh well. Why do I still have her along? Because she's my friend. She's like my favorite. I like Uthgerd. She's like, since I've been playing this game, always. She's always been my one road dog, so to speak. And where's he going? All right, when we get to the top up here, I'm probably going to shut my mouth. Big sigh of relief, right? But let us talk to Paarthurnax up here, because he is right along with Uthgerd, I guess, one of my favorite NPCs in the game. He's awesome. And I really like him. He just wants to hang out and talk. He just likes to talk. That's it. He just wants to be buds, kinda, in his own way. But he doesn't bother anybody. He's just cool. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. He's cool. Old Parthy, man. That's my buddy. So I'll get up there. We'll have a nice long chat with him, and I'll get out of the way, and then after that, see where we go next. Before we go too much farther, at some point I need to go ahead and do what I was talking about and go ahead and make our equipment. Probably do that next. That'll probably be the next video. In fact, we'll just put a video aside for that. That'll be our build video. We're right here, right at level 50. Good solid spot to take a look at our skills and the equipment and how I particularly like to build my character. It's pretty much done. There's a few random perks I can throw into some stuff. Maybe, I think I can still upgrade my bow damage one more time, I believe. Not much else other than that, really. Thought about maybe putting some perk points into either extra critical chance for a sword. It's just trash points, because honestly, critical damage for a weapon is really, really, really minimal. I mean, it makes a really cool sound, like when you hit somebody with a critical shot with an arrow or something, it'll go, make like a thunk sound. Like you hit them real hard, but honestly, it only scales off your base weapon damage, and it's just a small percentage of that. It doesn't factor in all the other stuff, so... the exception to that would be with daggers, which give you so many times extra critical damage that it's just through the roof. That's different, because you're talking about multiplying your criticals or your damage by like 15 or 30 times what they normally would be, and then factor on that any elemental damage and whatever else, and that's really effective. But just getting a critical shot with your sword or your bow doesn't do that much extra damage. It might stagger somebody or something. I think that's actually built into the archery tree, where you may get a stagger, and all that's great. And so the more of those, the better. But anyway, I'm wondering if criticals with swords perhaps give you a better chance on automatically staggering your opponent. If that's the case, it's definitely worth having. I really don't know. I notice I'm not staggering my enemies a lot with swords, not near as much as I remember doing it with axes, right? Never really messed with maces much, because they require so much stamina, and they're so slow that they really deprive you of a lot of potential DPS. Although they do ignore armor. There is some armor that they ignore, and that is really nice perk upgrade for them, but they're still too slow for me. I like getting in there speedy and slashing and all that whirlwind stuff, so. Alright. Anyway, but we'll get into that in the next one. We'll do a build. A quick overview of the skills and whatever. We know I put a point into stamina, point into health. Just been going back and forth every time we level up. That's all I've been doing. That's pretty simple. Alright. Let's meet Paarthurnax.
Dremyolok, greetings, Wunderneek. I am Paarthurnax. Who are you? What brings you to my Strunmach, my mountain? They see me as master, Wuth Onik, old and wise. It is true I am old. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation? Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin. I have spoken. The Rotmulag waits. Understand fire as the Dove do. Now, show me what you can do. Greet me not as mortal, but as Dova.
You'll
Ah, yes. Sosedo Vrostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jor mortal. Even for one of Dovasos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me? Ah, I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin. Yes, they are very protective of me. Bahlan Fadon. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum? Yes, Alduin, Zebach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with firstborn. But why? Why must you stop Alduin? True, but Kostid, prophecy, tells what may be, not what should be. Kostid Salo Ak. Just because you can do a thing does not always mean you should. Do you have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of Dez, of fate? If you can see your destiny clearly, your sight is clearer than mine. Dahman, remember, Alduin also follows his destiny as he sees it. But I bow before your certainty. In a way, I envy you. The curse of much knowledge is often indecision. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monavin, what you name Throat of the World? True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues. Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated. Yes and no. Viknus Nikron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time. Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day, he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when. How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwatlan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zofa Suryek. Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it. Croesus, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I. Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way. I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thu'um since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me. Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master: Fus, Faim, and Yol. It is called force in your tongue. But as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back. I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thu'um created solely by mortals. It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove. Return it here to the Tid Achran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Achran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir. The first mortals that I taught the Thu'um. The first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot-Hun. The Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater. Dremyolok, greetings. Vomindok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nust Lihon, they would not listen. Yes, there were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin Stur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner counsels were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself. Lok Thum.
Awesome, man. He's just so cool, man. He grins at you when he's talking to you, man. He just grins at you like he's just happy to be there, just having a chat, having a friend or having a buddy, just to hang out with. I mean, come on, man. He's just cool. I don't care. That's it. He's just cool to me. Period. One of my favorites all time. Probably any character in any game. So awesome. All right, let's get back down here. I'm gonna go find Arngir, or whatever his name is. Talk to him one more time. See if he has any other help he can give me. Probably not. He's really reluctant to help us in the first place. Oh, and here we have the chore of trying to find this dude. I have no idea where he's hiding. After about 10 minutes of fruitless searching around, I finally figured that, I don't think he can be in here. He must be outside. Maybe we left him where we were learning our shouts or something. I don't know. Oh, well, I hear somebody. Was he practicing? Practicing his shouts, I guess? That's kind of cool. Alright. Well, where is he at? I'm not seeing him. This is where we learned our whirlwind sprint and all that. Okay, well, I know I heard him, so I know he's out here somewhere. Well, one of them is, anyway. Maybe it's not him, but it's one of them. Yeah, there he is.
So, you spoke to Paarthurnax. The dragon blood burns bright within you. Did he tell you what you wanted to know? Did he teach you the dragon rend shout? Well, so be it. If he believes it is necessary for you to learn this, we will bow to his wisdom. We have never concerned ourselves with the scrolls. The gods themselves would rightly fear to tamper with such things. As for where to find it, such blasphemies have always been the stock and trade of the mages of Winterhold. They may be able to tell you something about the Elder Scroll you seek. Such blasphemies are the calling of mages, not followers. Take your question to the College of Winterhold. Perhaps not, but this shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable. Their
Okay,
whole lives.
oh, he's just repeating himself.
When you learn a shout,
Okay.
in
Well,
order
anyway,
to
there it
learn
is out of
and
his
use
own
this
mouth.
shout, you will be taking this even.
Yeah, I'm done talking to you. Yeah, out of his own mouth, he's like, well, you know, if we all gotta die, then so be it. Okay, well, like Dorian said in Dragon Age Inquisition, okay, you think a lot like a blood mage, okay? Dying is usually not the first option, okay? I've got some fighting to do, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I'm gonna do, okay? You can just sit there on your ass doing nothing.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Well, thanks for not delivering that to me in the middle of a dragon or a
Let's
vampire
see.
fight.
I have a letter here from Quintus Navale in Windhelm. He said it was
Oh, I know Quintus.
Looks like
Oh,
it.
that's about the white file. I think you can find a way to make it work and then use it. Oh, we may actually do that. Who knows? All right, but next, I guess we got to go to the Mages College. I don't know. Either that or go start Dawn Guard. Whatever, we're going to do our build video next. I know that. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.